Now, you did tell me that you did drag, right?
I did, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I performed in 3 drag shows at Fredonia and
Dang.
1 in Albany. But the ones at Fredonia, the first one, I made my own mix or whatever, like on Audacity, which was kind of cool. So I did a bunch of like JT songs, Justin Timberlake, and I don't know, it's just like the best brainchild I've ever had. But I was like, I'm doing a lot of JT stuff. Like, what should my name be? I feel like I should be like a fake JT. I was like, I'm gonna be JP Maker Quick. Like, it just popped in. I was like, this is a holy name, and I need to do it right. So I did that, and I came in second that year out of like maybe like 9 or 10 kings. And then the next year, it was my senior year, and I won. So that was cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So what is it, like a beauty pageant? What is it judged on?
The judges were usually past winners, or they would bring in like a host from Marcella's to like host it. So we had Anita Waistline for a while. One time there was a king from Marcella's. I don't remember their name. But yeah, so it's just a whole bunch of performances kind of back to back. Sometimes there's a theme involved, other times not. But I don't know. I just kind of had fun with it. I got to use props at some points.
Okay.
Like my senior year, I mixed in, like I started off with like a JT song, like, okay, then you think I'm like going classic, and then I was like, nah, and I did like the white noise effect and brought out I don't know if you've ever heard The Lonely Island, I'm on a Boat. Yeah, so I did that.
That's awesome.
And then I actually had my friend off on the side. I bought like one of those big balloon dolphins that they have at like party stores. And we had it in like a black garbage bag, and she like birthed it on stage to me. And I took it, and I was like riding it like to the song, and then I took it and punted it.
Oh my God.
And then somebody took it. Never saw that dolphin again.
That's awesome. Someone has that memory forever.
Yeah, I hope it's skeleton is somewhere.
So it's mostly performance based, though. Is there like a costume and like,
yeah.
there's all that stuff too.
Yeah, there's a specific, I guess, like what I love about drag is it's really a gay form of art. You know, you can really kind of make fun of gender roles, but also embrace them at the same time. Mm-hmm. So for me, I feel like I have to a lot of times I can live an androgynous life, but I'm definitely, I identify as a woman, especially in a professional setting, but this is my chance to really just explore what being a man would be like, or maybe some of the, fun dancing that goes along with that may not be accepted to me in a crop top would be like, I don't know. I really like it because you can kind of design what you would want to be as a man if you were to be in that gender role. Okay. So, kind of cool.
Have you ever gone out then as a man, or you only done those types of things like for performance purposes, you know?
I've been dressing more androgynously this year. I have a femme side of my closet and a mask side of my closet.
On purpose or just?
On purpose, yeah, because it's like a double-sided closet, so I was like, I'm just gonna like organize myself. But no, this I'd say both times that I was at the drag show, I went out afterward like in costume, which was cool. But other than that, no, I don't usually dress up or anything.
I was just curious if you noticed like a difference in like treatment or anything like that.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like, I mean, like, I'm a quality gay. Like, I'd say like a 7 out of 10, right? But,
wait, what does that mean?
Like, in terms of, like, other, like, queer women, like, engaging with me, I feel like I'm like 7 out of 10.
You mean, like, how much...
Attractive?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I know, I was kind of trying to figure it out. No, it's okay.
I'm on board.
I think I'm like a...
Oh, you are
I think I'm like a 4.
Okay, can we just, like, pause the tape and just erase all of that? Platonically, because this is very platonic, you're awesome, but, like, objectively, like, God. 9.5.
Shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
You're an awesome person.
Yeah. I mean, I tell the truth, but...
you do tell the truth, I respect you a lot for that. That's good to know.
Yeah. But anyway, so through drag, though, I noticed, especially the nights that I went out in drag, if somebody had seen me in my performance, they were like, oh my God. And, like, I got all these friend requests on Facebook from, like, freshman girls that I didn't know.
Really?
Who obviously had worked very hard to, like, find my profile.
Yeah, because how would they know? How would they... I would love to, like, see... I'm sure you have pictures. But I want to see, did you do your own, like, makeup? Did you do, like, your...
I had a friend of mine, Daniella, who's also a drag queen,
do some
of my makeup. both times, and I just had like a little like outline beard.
Mm-hmm.
I had like the douche patch.
The
going
douche
on
patch.
my chin, and things like that. And I wear a fedora.
Oh yes.
Typically, but I've been considering a snapback lately.
Real? I think you could
Yeah.
rock a snapback.
I have a tiny head, so I have to. I bought a boy's snapback, like a small child's snapback,
Yes.
and that works. But like a big, large man
It
snapback,
would not work.
it looks like I'm drowning. In
Oh,
a hat.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got a tiny head, a lot of brain.
Yeah.
I had never. I mean, I've been to Marcella's, but not only.
Did you went to a show? Because it's Marcella's is known for shows.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, but it was drag queens only.
I think drag is really awesome, and it's obviously always been kind of formative in the gay community, but it's a great outlet for people who are queer to really be artistic and show how they feel about the patriarchy, you know, in like kind of a safe setting and turn it into art. Where did you go to high school?
Lancaster?
See, that's suburban.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. I never felt like I was like persecuted. I mean, it wasn't really like out in high school.
Okay.
But still, there were kids, and I don't feel like they were particularly like targeted. But there were still those stereotypes of like, oh, well, that kid plays the blue.
Yeah.
I was in band, so
I
was like
in the
one.
bag.
I was in
The flute is kind of a gay instrument.
No.
It's pretty gay.
Like,
What?
if you had to
Even if
rank
you're
them.
female.
You ever seen that dude when he's playing a flute and beatboxing at the same time?
Oh my
Because he's
God.
boss as fuck.
How do you
Yeah.
have enough
Definitely
air
do
in your
cool
body?
shit, but-
I don't know, but he does a really good job.
Okay, there we go.
So I don't think it's gay.
I think like a
Feminine.
tuba would be like a bear, like a really burly
Yeah.
gay man.
Wow.
Yeah, and like a violin. I don't know. I feel
Like
like a viola would be a
viola.
lesbian. A lesbian.
lesbian.
That's the thing. Just
Is that like a lesbian that was a lesbian? Like
Yes.
a has-been, but lesbian?
Ooh. I think we both just trademarked it and used
Yeah.
a gay term.
Oh my god.
But yeah, a
It's
viola
not
is
ass
like
slapping. I'm sorry. Go
just alternative enough to be a lesbian, you know.
on.
So let's talk codependency, because I'm
Oh, yeah.
really interested in that subject.
Cool.
you did it all
Yeah.
just now.
It's
I know Daniella researched it a little bit today and tried to explain it, but I had her hold off because I wanted you to explain
Yeah.
it. So
honestly, it's really not uncommon to know nothing about it whatsoever, especially kind of among our generation. But it's basically a pattern of behaviors that are unhealthy in terms of setting emotional and social boundaries in relationships.
okay.
So there's different types of it, and it really manifests differently in everybody. But for me, I am a giver. I'm a natural giver. I'm an empath, things like that. But I kind of learned growing up and was reinforced to believe that I need to put my needs aside to take care of other people, because that it's kind of like if you grow up in a situation where you think that your well-being depends on your caregiver's well-being, and your caregiver is having a really hard time, if your caregiver goes down, like that stability of everybody is just fucked.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's just it's out the window. So I learned to do everything I could to be perfect so that I wouldn't give my parents any issues. I love my parents to death, just side note, but so that I wouldn't present any more trouble in their lives since they were already struggling. So I would put aside my issues, help them with theirs, be the perfect daughter, things like that. And then that way, we would all be stable. But I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
at
I think
all.
it makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, it really continues to manifest in other ways in other relationships if you don't watch it. So it has a lot to do with self-worth and determining your self-worth based on what other people think of you. It has a lot to do with expectations and expecting others to behave in a certain way and getting frustrated when they don't. It has a lot to do with control, wanting to control your environment and prevent uncertainty, because uncertainty for a lot of different people is scary as hell.
Yeah.
But when you're in a codependent relationship, I'd say you can say like romantic relationship, it can be really bad, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody who's not mentally stable or has an addiction.
Okay.
I currently go to a group called CODA, Codependence Anonymous, and it's a 12-step program. It's kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous. It's changed my whole life. Basically, a group for people who have codependency issues, and a lot of times those people have been in relationships with or were raised by alcoholics or people who have addictions of some nature.
Okay.
Because when you grew up around that, you learn that you need to be a caretaker. And then codependent traits kind of follow from there.
Okay.
But it's a 12-step program, so every month you focus on a different step. So like this month is all about taking a moral inventory of yourself.
Okay.
So basically, each month, every week on Tuesday nights, I meet up with this group of people, usually like 10 or 15 people. We meet at a church. It's really great. And we will all kind of do a meditation activity, and then we all do our sharing. What's great about a CODA meeting, though, is that there's no crosstalk, which means that nobody can give advice to anybody else.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's not only a practice in sharing your story, expressing your feelings, talking about your life and how you're working on codependency issues, but you also, for the rest of the time after you speak, because everybody gets maybe say 2 to 5 minutes to speak, you say nothing.
Wow.
You just listen. So that way you're practicing not taking on other people's shit. All you can do is listen. I mean, even sometimes I care about these people that I'm in the group with.
Mm-hmm.
You get really close and, they'll say something. I'm like, oh, I could probably help you get a job there. Or I could offer this advice. Or, but you have to remember, it's not my story. It's somebody else's.
Wow.
Crosstalk at a codependency meeting, they say, is like bringing beer to AA,
Ouch.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's really great.
Dangerous.
I actually am the group leader this month, so I get to plan the different meditation activities that we do. I go to workbook meetings sometimes too. We'll meet at a coffee shop, and there's a book with questions that you can ask yourself and kind of write out answers. And I have a blog that I started.
Nice.
Kind of geared specifically towards millennials, because I feel like we expect a lot out of each other, and I just, from the relationships that I've seen from my peers, and especially the relationship that I've been in, I see a lot of codependency now, looking back, and a lot of things where people think that they can control their environment. And the truth about life that I've really learned in the last 6 months is that you have no control
That's
over
really scary.
anyone else. It's very scary.
Yeah.
But your life gets so much better when you stop trying to control everybody.
Right.
Because they're going to do what they want anyway. It's all good. But one thing that's very true is that it's been very hard for me to learn this, but it's possible to not want to control someone, not have them in your life, but to absolutely and unconditionally love them. You can realize to a point, that's not my life and I can't control them.
It's kind of acceptance,
Yeah, it's very much acceptance, but respecting their right to live their own life, because everybody deserves that. But also, I mean, unconditional love is a skill. It's loving without expectations. So you can do anything that you want to me. You can hurt me in any way that you desire. You can break me down. But I'm going to know that I can do things to protect myself and remove myself, and I can take care of me. And I don't have to worry about your problems, but I can still love you.
Right.
There's no rule that says that I don't have to.
That's the key, though, because once you start accepting their either violence towards you or negativity towards you, and you don't have those protections up, then you get into trouble, with either physical abuse or things like that. So that's a fine line, I think.
Absolutely.
Oh, it totally is.
And setting boundaries is the biggest thing that we work on in CODA. So really listening to other stories helps kind of give you a parallel, so you can see, okay, well, they practiced this in their life and a good result came from it. They followed the steps and they said, this isn't for me, or I need to distance myself, or I need this in a relationship, and something good came out of it. So, I mean, you can see really positive examples of what happens when you are very explicit with what you need in life. I think that millennials, a lot of times, we have so much communication going on between us and texting, things like that, but a lot gets lost in translation. And there's a lot of blurred social rules that exist nowadays, too, with all the technology mixed in.
Oh, yeah.
And especially for gay relationships, I think a lot of times they're bound for codependency.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were talking a little bit before you got here, too, and that's kind of what I thought, because I feel like females have more of a tendency for codependency. and I don't know if that's the caregiver side to a lot of females, but and then when you put two females together,
God
you know
damn
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So what kind of made you look into this CODA group? Was there a certain like thing that happened with you, and then you were like, okay, well, I really need to do something?
I actually, first of all, I definitely think your point about two women being together and caregivers is really valid.
Right.
And also, I think a gay relationship, usually there's one person that comes from a home that doesn't accept it very well, and that kind of sets them up for maybe mental instability or addiction, and then the other one has to compensate for it. I think that gay people have tough lives sometimes. But yeah, in general, I got involved with CODA this past September. I had been involved with somebody for honestly a couple of years, and I absolutely love her. I do. But a lot of things went on in the months prior where she needed a lot of help, and she was working overnights at a gas station, mental health stuff going on. I really don't want to go more into it because it's not my life.
Yeah,
but I was thinking that I was going to save her because I loved her so much. I really just, I wanted it all to go quick, and I wanted to do it for her because I really, I wanted her to be out of pain. But what I didn't realize was that's not my right.
Right.
She's got to do it on her own. And also, I was hurting myself in the process by neglecting what I really needed to do, and all the work that I needed to do with my eating and with not trying to control other people and to accept uncertainty and things like that. So in September, I went through a really rough breakup, kind of, that eventually led to me living out of my car for a month, which was fun. I know, yeah. And big drama with apartments and just a whole bunch of stuff. But the thing that got me through was really this CODA group, where I knew every Tuesday night I was going to go there and I could share what was going on, and they could kind of not even tell me what to do because there's no crosstalk, but I felt like I had a higher power, this group of people that really believed that I could take care of myself and that I could change. And I have, I'm so thankful for it.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah, I just got my 6-month trip last month. So.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's pretty
wow.
cool.
So, but there was a point where you were able to recognize it while you were in the relationship? Saying that it was, like, unhealthy for you?
I basically got broken up with after a very significant event, and I was kind of in shock because I didn't think that I was ever going to get broken up with. I thought that I was going to marry this woman. And I kind of used it at first as I need to fix myself so that we can be together again. But what I'm realizing now is that may never happen. So I am going to take all the lessons that it's taught me and kind of forge into my own life. So I guess the reason why I started it was really because I wanted to be better for that other person. But what I realized through CODA is that I'm worth it. And now I want to take that worth and do something great with it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty nice.
But I can definitely am a fixer too. I go into, I pick out those damaged spots and I want to.
Oh, yeah. I would totally. I have to fix everything.
Yeah. Because we love people and you don't realize how much it does to you in the process. But once you do start to recognize it and focus on yourself and see, oh, what do I like? Or, what do I want to spend money on myself for?
Right.
What are my priorities? Your mental health gets so much better. It's so great.
So, like, self-love, self-worth. Do you think that there is a possibility, there's a fine balance between the two? Being a giver and having or a fixer and having, like, self-love? Like,
I think so. What I mean? Yeah, I think
good balance?
I think so, but it takes work and, like, a conscious, like an awareness of what you could do in terms of how much fixing you could do,
right?
But also what realistically you need to stay afloat. Because if you use up all of your emotional reserves taking care of other people, eventually they're going to be so low that you're going to need all the help.
Right.
But what's great is when you're forced to take a moment to step back, kind of like I was this fall, where it's like, whoa, my whole life is just like seemingly destroyed type deal,
Mhm.
I saw, oh my God, I've really been neglecting that, and my eating really isn't that great. Or I really don't take care of myself super well, or I don't really let myself have that much fun or spend money. And I was able to, through kind of taking a moment to redirect and engage in more self-love, realize that I had issues that I had kind of been avoiding so that I could take care of other people's issues. So it was almost like an escape thing too. It's like, well, if I take care of your issues, then I don't have to take care of mine, which isn't super healthy. So I was able to really, I mean, I've discussed with you before, I had a pretty severe eating disorder in high school and a little bit through college. But I just went to an appointment last week with my nutritionist, and she's like, I am amazed at your turnaround in 6 months.
That's awesome.
And I want to discharge you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really was one of those things where as soon as I got broken up with, I was like, I need to make a meal plan, and I need to fix this, and I need to do it. And I've never felt healthier in my whole life. I've never felt more confident in my whole life.
And this was all with the help of CODA?
Yeah.
Wow. That's really good.
Other aspects of your life can change, not just relationships.
Right.
I have to do that a lot where I have to pull myself. I tend to focus outward, and sometimes to my own detriment. I have to like emotionally turn myself back in and say, okay, well, what? You have all these other things going on.
Yeah.
And you're just worried about other people's crap.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're saying, it does take an emotional toll on you, and you go up and down with their ups and downs instead of, I could be focusing on podcasting or blogging or, like you said, nutrition and health and stuff like that. How long did you have an eating disorder? Was that something that started when you were real young, or?
I've always been like a weird eater in general, but when I was around 14, I was in kind of just a place with my biological dad where it had been years of kind of him not really being involved in my life, and me being very much wanting of him to be involved in my life. And I kind of decided that if I was perfect, then like he might come back. That might be a great idea. And then there were other pressures too. There was college. I had to be perfect for that. So what I learned to do was, and this is super fucked up, so you can judge me in advance. I would not allow myself to eat until I got a certain amount of work done.
Wow.
For school. So I would study for the SAT for 2 hours, go to field hockey practice, write an article for our school newspaper, and then I could have my dinner. So it became one of those things where it's like, I will reinforce productivity with food. Yeah. So it became like a reward and punishment type thing.
Yeah.
If I did bad on a paper, I wouldn't eat lunch if I found out before lunch.
How did you come up with this? Or was it just...
It was very subtle.
Subtle, okay.
I honestly think I'm naturally a behaviorist. Like,
yeah.
I know, like, okay, if I reinforce this behavior, But it just kind of manifested, and then I couldn't break out of it anymore because it very much felt like it was never really a body image thing as much for me. It was more like, this is a really good system to motivate myself, and I really want to be perfect. Wow. And I really want to control my environment, and I want to. I think that having control over calories and food gives us a fake sense of control. And it gives us a distraction. Like I could, whenever I was worried, instead of thinking about my worries, I could just calorie count in the back of my head. I would just toll over and over and over again the number of calories that I'd eaten that day or would eat or things like that. I'm so glad not to be doing that anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like exhausting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People with eating disorders, especially anorexia, are very driven people, very perfectionistic, very smart, and work very hard. So that's the double-edged sword because they also work very hard at their eating disorder.
Well, you said you did very good in college. Do you think it's because of the eating disorder, the motivation that...
To be honest, I think that was part of it. It definitely was not as severe in college as it was in high school. I was hospitalized when I was in high school. I was right before my senior year. And then I started school late because I was an inpatient for a month and a half, which was not fun. But after that, it slowly started to get better. And by the time I was in college, I had figured out, for the most part, how to reinforce myself with fun in other ways. But I still had slip-ups here and there. It wasn't as severe. But no, I think in college, honestly, I just got lucky in that I'm pretty smart and could make it through.
I think I just mixed up the school years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Did you do really good in high school?
I did.
Okay, I guess that was what I was trying to get at.
Got GPA was 98.9, something stupid.
Now going back to the question, do you think you did well in high school because of what you put yourself through?
Up until 6 months ago, I probably would have said yes.
Okay.
But honestly, I think I could have done just as well without the
same situation. Okay.
Because I think that being so exhausted all of the time also takes a toll. So you do have to work harder cognitively to process things, because it really fucks up your brain when you don't eat.
You don't have that fuel.
Yeah, you can't focus.
You literally need food to function.
Absolutely. So I probably would have, if I had more nutrition, been able to focus better on things, and then done just as well by proxy. So it probably was moot. But I feel like I learned a lot about myself through it, and it really showed me the capacity for love that like my parents and my siblings and my family could have for me. They were beyond incredible on getting me through, especially my stepdad. He was an angel. So yeah.
So you were seeking separate treatment, or was this all just through CODA and it kind of fell into place?
I had a nutritionist that I saw.
Okay.
But once a month. But no, it was finally I decided, holy shit, it's time to really kick it up a notch and to just get rid of this, because I'm beyond it.
And it seems like it's kind of stemming from the two issues, separate issues, but kind of related, where you're saying the control thing is evident in both.
Yeah.
So I just find that super interesting, and I can't really relate to necessarily like eating disorders or anything, but definitely the codependency. I mean, when I'm in relationships, I go from relationship to relationship, and you can tell me, but I think that's one of probably the markers of that type of thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, just when you lose that relationship and you get that feeling of like panic almost, like that dread of like being alone a little bit. And I've always like just gone from relationship to relationship. Like,
I'm gonna ballpark this. Do you think that millennials, or most of us, are codependent in the relationship field because we have the technology to always be in touch with someone? Like, let's say that, you break up with someone and you're like, fuck it, I'm single, but you have that need that you're talking about, and you're just like, I'm just gonna go on this app and talk to a random person, and you always have that there, so you kind of aren't aware of their codependency because, you know what I mean?
You always have access to a date, whereas in the past it was like, maybe I'll go to church this week and like find another girl.
Yeah,
I can call her at 5 p.m. Yeah, like this is like, yo, I'm getting on that glitchy Tinder her.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm finding me a new girlfriend.
Yeah,
like yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure. That's just like I don't know. Like, what are your guys' opinions on that? I mean,
I think it's not to be like you're codependent, but like no, I think that you're
pretty sure I am.
You're right in recognizing that as a sign and a symptom, where that you feel like you need to have another person to kind of make you feel like you have worth. Which,
like fill a void almost.
Exactly. And you feel like you are such a giver that you want to give, which is a great thing. It's so good to be
to a certain extent.
It is, but it's
I need $1.
No, dude.
Damn.
No, dude.
Damn.
See, that's a difference between maybe you're good at codependency and friendship. It's fine.
Money doesn't come into play.
But honestly, one of the reasons why I started this blog is because I'm a nerd, but also I really have no idea why millennials are so codependent, but I see it. So I keep trying to process it in kind of my own way and see like how I ended up this way. But honestly, I just feel like we have a lot of expectations from the world and from each other.
We do.
And I think that we're starting to become kind of a really angry generation. And I'm really not an angry person.
Yeah. I can't imagine you angry.
It happens, but I don't ever keep it. I don't like holding on to anger.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think technology helps.
No.
No, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
You just get that 24-hour. You can always be texting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that, now you feel like
people expect you to text, or people expect you to.
Right. There's a lot of expectations.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if I go on this many dates, is it this, or what if they, or like this or that?
Why aren't they texting me back?
I also think that like our generation, relating to technology again, there's because of social media, like you said, we're expected to be or have certain things, to be happy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of just like TV shows and movies growing up, it's so different compared to back then. Like back then it was like you find one love forever. Yeah. Now it's like you can date whoever the fuck you want, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like things on like Facebook or Instagram about like hashtag relationship goals, shit like that. It kind of like brainwashes you to think this is what I need. So when you go through like a breakup, you just like, I need it again. You don't think about yourself.
I think that's a really good point where you kind of dress yourself up on social media, or you see other couples like look perfect, and like this is great. So you feel like you need that too, that you're missing out on something. So there's a lot more exposure, like you're saying.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's why millennials show signs of, more signs of codependency.
I think it's just like dating like times 10 as compared to what it used to be when our parents were around.
Yeah.
And in the scene, because like you're right, you really have so many options, and everything ends so quickly. It's so abrupt. There's very little time to process. There's other factors. They might text another person, or you see this photo
You're
on Facebook.
You're always paranoid.
All
the time. It's way easier to be paranoid.
Yeah. When you know that there's and I honestly think it's crazy. Like what is it, Tinder?
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that you can just like swipe a human being.
I know, seriously, like get out of here.
Yeah, like what the fuck? That is a person with a life. I don't know.
Think about it, we do that in real life,
but not as like easy.
I honestly wish that I could swipe certain people like out of my life situation. And then like I'm done with you. Yeah, see you later. I swipe left on you, and they like walk to the left. Yeah, bye. See you later.
You know how many people would be walking? Like everyone would just be like
in the line in Daily Planet. Nope. See you later. Okay, I accept you. What do you want?
You're kind of cute. What will you swipe right if you want that? I don't even know. I've never used Tinder.
You swipe left if you don't like them.
Okay.
You swipe right if you do.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes there's like an accidental swipe.
See,
and
what?
It's like, what
is that?
there?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
it's gone forever.
There was a while too. I was using this stupid app. It's called Her.
I've heard
it's
that.
It's like a really glitchy lesbian Tinder. And at first I was using it for serious purposes, just to like get back out there or whatever. And then I just started to see how fascinating the profiles were. And like, I mean, I'm a good person, but I can be salty as hell.
Yeah.
And I love to judge people. So it'd be like, you have a kid? Okay. Nope, not you. Or like, you look like you have emotional problems. Like,
no.
I don't know.
You're just
like,
pulling their psychological.
We can all say we're guilty. I can say that I'm guilty. So.
But yeah, you look at somebody's profiles, like I can guess, what you were like in high school and like what you will be like in 10 years. And that's like.
But we do that in real life. I mean, if you see someone on the street, you take a quick like mental like, oh, I kind of know where you're from, what you've been doing. I've seen people like you.
Have you ever thought about that about yourself, but I guess not as serious? You're just like, I wonder what they think of me.
Judging myself.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's scary.
Like on a Tinder profile or just in general?
No, just like walking down the street.
Oh, or I both. That all the time.
Both, yeah.
Yes.
You're like, because sometimes I'll be like, man, you're a fucking douchebag, just by the like as like a person's like car or like like you probably play a sport and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I wonder what they think about me.
People probably look at me and are like, why is this preteen boy wearing girls' clothing? What's happening? Why are they driving a car? Should I call the police?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Which I did see, I'm sure, someone queer in a truck driving behind me that was smoking a cigarette and looked like they were 12 years old.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like this new lesbian like BOI like boy thing where we're all kind of looking like Justin
What is
Bieber.
that?
I don't even know.
Wait.
Oh, we discussed the different types of lesbians, didn't we?
I think we did, but
There's
I don't.
too
There's a
many.
lot of
There's
different
many
types of
categories.
lesbians. You explained like femme, butch.
Yeah. There's like stone butch. Where
Whoa,
it's like,
That's terrifying.
yeah, they wear like
I like
the
that stone butch you just
like
did.
button down shirts with
Oh,
like the
Yeah.
with like the short sleeves and like maybe a leather jacket and like bleh, you know.
That noise
I have
defines
some
it all.
button-down shirts.
Oh my
It's fine.
goodness.
You know,
They're
there's
long sleeves.
there's here I am
Like
like
snapback wearing, like.
I'd say that's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I think snapback is more like a boy, a BOI,
Okay.
who's like a Justin Bieber circa 2008. You know,
Wow.
has the
When
swoop
he
hair.
his balls didn't drop yet.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's so funny. And like also like very cute. Like might wear like the studs, like the diamond studs.
I
and
think
the
Justin
snapback.
Bieber, would be a
Yeah.
cute lesbian. Ugh.
I am not attracted to men, but sometimes his face is like very appealing. Not as much the body, but like I don't know. But then everybody's like, it's because he has a really
Symmetrical.
girly face. I'm like, you know what, he does. It's okay. He's doing
Maybe
okay,
that's
so.
what it is that you're attracted to, is the girly features of
I think so. Does he have a sister? No.
it. I have no idea.
Damn.
I will look for you though.
Justina Bieber.
He's an only
I
child.
have to ask. Okay, so you're pretty well informed about the different type of lesbians, right?
Yes.
Where do I fall under in the what? It's the way they dress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that what it
It's a
is
little
about,
bit
or is it the
easier.
way
And
they're
personality, I don't know.
okay?
I'd say you are softcore butch.
Softcore butch.
So, like-
yeah,
It's
explain
like a
that to me.
porno.
I'm like happy about it.
Like a butch personality, like you take charge or whatever,
Okay.
you know, and you have an androgynous look, but I think that you lean more towards like the male type side,
Yeah,
but
I
still
totally
like
do.
slim fit type, like skater-ish type thing. Softcore butch, I would say.
Gia calls me a skater boy all the time.
Skater boy
With
an
an
I. Yeah.
Skater boy with an I.
Yes.
That's
What
too
if-
much. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, that's a lot
at
going
all.
on. Can I ask what?
Yeah, go ahead. We just met, but
I know.
Oh my
I
god,
know
why are
it-
you doing
Go
this to
for
me?
it.
Because I have to. I just need to
Why?
know. I think you need to do the whole house because this is like a house of lesbians. Like everyone that lives in here is
The
lesbian.
house
So-
of lesbians.
It is a house of
It should be a
lesbians.
show.
House of lesbians. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I was like, we should have a show, but it would be like the real L word, but like in Cheektowaga. And I don't know
So
how
the
far
show
that-
is
ghetto
never
ass
gonna
version.
happen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
never gonna happen. So.
Okay, well,
Still
based on
live
your
in
outfit
LA.
today,
True, you gotta face these khakis.
I'm sorry to put you on blast, but
no,
Yeah.
I think that, like you,
stop fixing yourself up, man.
okay,
It's not
just to
gonna
describe, wearing an adorable Twin
Khakis.
Peaks sweatshirt,
Twin
which is
Peaks.
awesome. Is it Coffee Pie Murder? Thank God. Fucking
I
slay
can't,
me.
I can't wait till it comes back, actually.
Great. Are they doing a reboot?
Yes, David Lynch is on board. I
We
think this
can-
year.
Who's David Lynch?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
What the hell?
Even so, she's got the tan pants on, like the khakis, and glasses, and like kind of crazy socks. What is that? Okay,
It's
a
a
cat
cat wearing glasses
and a necklace.
and a necklace.
I don't know about that cat.
So you have like I'd say,
Don't forget
say-
the curls.
yep, chapstick lesbian.
I've heard of that. What is that again? That's...
So a lipstick lesbian is like femme, you know,
Right,
pretty
okay.
connected to
there's
like that kind of
chapstick
thing.
and lipstick.
Yes. So I describe myself as a chapstick lesbian, where it's like
Okay.
I wear, you know, things that are pretty like androgynous, but like maybe a little bit more feminine. Like I wear the cat socks with the
You do
this
that.
and that, you know, things
Mhm.
like that. Like an Ellen almost, but a little bit more
You
femme.
totally.
She's stylish.
Yeah.
She is stylish.
Yeah. So like probably wouldn't carry lipstick in their purse, but like
No.
chapstick is right there. Like
Do
a
you have
really
chapstick?
nice.
Yeah, you gotta keep it. You can't be having crusty lips.
There you go. You're a chapstick lesbian.
Yes.
All right, cool.
And
Good to
Gia
know.
seems more like a femme.
She's femme.
Yeah.
She's
I wouldn't
super
say
femme.
lipstick lesbian because I
No,
picture
because she could get down.
yes,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna say genuine femme.
I think she's femme too. I remember I went through a chart one time. I was trying to figure
There's a
out
chart.
all of my friends. I was like, which one's which?
All right, well, I'm glad we sorted that out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a shirt that says that now, like a
Just
badge.
all wear our labels.
Softcore Butch.
Yeah. Hi, how are you? I'm softcore.
Jamila. Softcore Butch.
Nice to meet you.
Definitely
Nice
a
to
porn
meet you.
name.
That is a porn name. I like that. I don't know.